Hey there, Big Brother fans. Let's talk about who is going to be evicted in week 9 because one of the 2 final nominees has just blown up her own game in spectacular fashion. Right now in the Big Brother house, they've already played the HOH, they held the nomination ceremony, they played the power of veto comp, and they already held the veto meeting. So the final 2 on the chopping block for this week are Felicia and Mecole under Cameron's HOH reign. But who will be going home? Well, we have a very good idea, and we're going to tell it all to you, unpack for you who blew up their game, why they did it, and the fallout that is happening around it. If you are a casual, as in someone who does not watch the live feed and only watches the episodes, of course, this will be all spoilers for you on Tuesday night, October 3rd. They're going to show the HOH comp and the nomination ceremony. And then the rest of this stuff will play out on Thursday's live eviction show. We're going to dig into all this, unpack it for you, give you all the spoilers and the goodies you need to know. A lot of this is stuff that might not even end up on the episodes that air. That's why it's so interesting to watch the live feeds and not just the edited broadcast episodes. Hey, if you haven't already, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our Big Brother updates. So the whole reason that Cameron nominated Felicia was he said he didn't want her in the jury because he thinks she would campaign against him. Well, talk about a self-fulfilling prophecy. After Cam nominated her, Felicia was in a snit and ran around the BB25 house talking smack. But then Mecole and Felicia had to knuckle down and play hard for the power of veto to try and save their game. Of course, Cameron also played along with Blue, who was chosen by Mecole, and Matt, chosen by Cameron. And the 6th to play was America, whose name was drawn directly, as far as we can tell. So Cameron won the exorcist-themed haunted house find and search comp, and apparently Mecole was close behind, but second doesn't get you anything in most comps. So then, overnight on Sunday, there was a lot of discussion about a blindside. Cam floated the idea of taking Felicia off the block and putting up Cory in her place, but that didn't fly with his allies, Matt and Jag, so he flipped the script and used something Blue did to his advantage. He called Cory up to the HOH room and told him, quite honestly, that Blue asked him to backdoor Cory. Of course, the other guy was shocked, but he was more upset that Matt and Jag didn't tell him about this. And later, Cameron warned the 2 other fugitives in his alliance that he'd busted out Blue's treachery, but that he was putting it all off on her and wasn't mentioning that they were already talking about it. So Jag and Matt played along, and they haven't said anything. They're just focusing on the Blue thing in conversations with Cory. So that's very interesting. It may come out eventually, but for now, it's staying tucked away. So in the end, Cameron kept noms the same and did not use the power of veto. Now, it's all out of his hands, but apparently there was a big dust-up at the veto meeting when the ladies made their speeches. It turns out Felicia went off on, guess who? Not Cameron, but Cory. Yep, the house guests were chatting on the feeds about Felicia calling out Cory in her veto speech. That left Matt, Bowie, and America stunned and saying there's really no chance for her to survive this week in the BB25 house after this incident. Later, and this is pretty funny, Felicia asked Cameron if she blew up her game, and he smirks and replies, "What game?" And then he said, yeah, you kind of blew it. So then he basically told her that she's either got to campaign hard against Mimi or be prepared to go home. Cory, it seems, at least for his part, was not too bothered by what Felicia said at the veto meeting, and I'm assuming we're going to get to hear at least part of it. Meanwhile, Cirie heard from both Cameron and Felicia what he said about her destroying her own game. And still, even after this, and after Felicia knows she misstepped, she just kept up with the anti-Cory talk. It was streaming out of her mouth. Maybe she just doesn't care anymore. I don't know. So she was ranting in the kitchen on Monday about Cory only wanting to win veto comps, not HOH comps, so that he can stay safe while lying to others and getting them to do his dirty work. to my ears, it sounds like Felicia is saying he manipulated Cameron's HOH, maybe all 3 of Cameron's HOHs. I don't know what she is trying to get at with all that. So when Felicia talked to Cirie after the veto meeting, she kept bringing up Jared and how he affected their games. So I am especially interested to see her reaction when Felicia is sitting outside the BB25 house with Julie come Thursday, and she hears that Jared and Cirie are mother and son. That should shed a whole lot of light on what she has seen these past 9 weeks in the BB house. As of right now, unless Mimi does something nuclear to blow the house up worse than Felicia already has, then Mecole is safe, and Miss Felicia will be sitting down with Miss Moonves in a couple of days. So stay tuned for more on Big Brother, guys. If you haven't already, please click subscribe, click a like if you enjoyed this, and definitely drop your comments on what you think about Felicia blowing up her own game. Most fans seem pretty sure that she's going to be going home this week. All the fan polls that I've looked at, they all have Felicia out at like a 94% or higher. So she seems doomed, and unless Mimi steps in poop between now and Thursday's live eviction, I definitely think Miss Felicia is packing. Come back soon for more Big Brother news. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.